Hey everybody in YouTube land, ECW fan, the collector here. It's been a while since I did the latest video games video. I think it was back in October or November. It's probably around then because I was taking some time off for Christmas and building up the Christmas haul, and so this is coming to you around sometime in February, and I've been building up some games, and I found 8 video games in the last month and a half. Right after Christmas, I found a few good ones. It surprised me what I could find online and in shops. The biggest one I found online is at the end of it, so stay tuned for that. But one of the things I'm going to show off first, and this is really unique, is how much the industry has changed. Back in the grand old days, old days, there used to be a thing called game manuals, and they would send them out. Video game manuals would show you how to play certain games, like Brady Games had one, and Prima. Well, eventually Prima and Brady Games merged together, I believe, and but the industry was just ticking to online guides that you could read online, and I use online guides right now. I'm using it for Trails into Zero, but anyhow. I found these 3 in a thrift shop for 10 cents a piece, and finding old video game guides is really hot. You know, they're getting pricey. A lot of them, the old Pokemon ones, are getting pricey to get. So when I was in there, I found this one from Brady Games. I found Diablo 3. And this one was really in great shape to be in a box. Just throw it in a box, given away at a thrift shop for 10 cents. I'm going to check and see if they've got any more. That was a nice find. I've always said I would love to walk in there and find a bunch of video game guides in there. Now, this is probably one of the biggest scores I found. This one is from Prima. This is the official guide for Mass Effect 2. And this is nice. It's got the artwork and all that stuff. That's what's missing in games today. I mean, you can go online and read them, but to have the book in your hand with detailed maps. And oh man, all the secrets and tricks and stuff, man, this is what's missing in the industry today. And yeah, Mass Effect 2. Oh yeah. And the last one I found, and this was nice. This was another Prima guide, and this one's actually got a date on it. This one's got a date from CompUSA. I guess a store. You can tell this came out, but this was purchased originally on March the 17th of 2005. The original price sticker is on this. See that? That is really unique. I mean, I think that's pretty unique. But this is Star Wars, Knights of the Republic, the Sith Lords, Old Republic. I went ahead and picked it up. I was like, you know what? I like Star Wars stuff. And this is really nice. And it's got some nice stuff in there. Some nice... Yep, there we go. Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of unique to find that. A game guide almost 18 years old. That's just sitting there in the thrift shop. Just waiting for me to pick it up. And he had a couple other ones, but they really wasn't anything I really wanted. I mean, they had one, it was an old for a computer guide, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want that. I like the Star Wars one, and I like Mass Effect 2, and I like the Diablo 2 guide. I don't know what made me say Diablo 3, but yeah. Anyhow, let's get on to the games. That's what you're here for. The games.
Oh, yeah!
Like I said, I got 8 games. They're PlayStation 3, 4, Xbox, and PlayStation 2. So one of the games I picked up from the Xbox One, I only found one game so far. It is Gears of War 4. I've been slowly getting all the Gears of War games for the systems, for the Xbox 360 and for the Xbox One, and this one was the one that came out for the Xbox One as a console exclusive. A new saga begins, as they say. And this one was cheap. This one was actually, he didn't charge me the full price on this. He charged me, I think it's half, just to get at the pawn shop to get rid of it. He had 2 copies of it, and the one copy wasn't as good as this one. So I'm glad I did good on that one. At another pawn shop, I found this one, and they had just gotten some PlayStation 3 games in. I picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Danger of the Ooze, and I've got this for the 360, so this was a pretty cool one to find, so, yeah. I don't think, yeah, it's got the game book with it. It's got the game book. I thought that this one didn't have it, but, hey. Now this one came out of Cheap Thrills, and I was very, I was like, I need to get that, because it brings back old memories. Me and my friend Mark and Adam, we would play it. Our friends would all play this game. We, on the PlayStation 2. When he first got the system, it became one of our favorites to play. We would play SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, and SmackDown, Know Your Role. We would play those games. We would play Final Fantasy X, me and him. It was just the game me and him would play, because I don't think other friends were into Final Fantasy. We would rank games, but one of the games that we really liked, all three of us playing on the system, was Twisted Metal Black. And I couldn't find the black label Twisted Metal. I was like, I know, I got to get this. I got to get this. It's cheap enough. Cheap Thrills is selling it cheap enough, so go ahead and pick it up. Even if it's the greatest hits. Disc was in great shape. I miss playing this one with my friends in the day, I need to call them and say, hey, we need to play some Twisted Metal Black, So, moving on, I picked up another PlayStation 4 game. And this one surprised me. I found this one in GameStop, and they had marked it down. It is Kena and the Bridge of the Spirits. Kena and the Bridge of Spirits. I've never seen this title before, but I always pick up off-the-wall games. I pick up ones. This has the upgrade to PlayStation 5 if you want to do the free upgrade. So, I could upgrade it and play it on my PlayStation 5. It's just one of those, like I said, I ate some peanuts, man. They got my throat dry. But anyway, I always like to find the weird games, the games that you wouldn't, that's off the beaten path. And this seems like one of them. Now we're going to get to an old game, an old PlayStation 4 game that I actually had a couple chances to pick up, but I never did, because when it first launched in 2016 or 2017, the game was, it didn't launch really well, because the guy had promised all this stuff in this game. Well, eventually with the updates and the support, they actually got most of that stuff into the game over the years. And this game has become very decent for the players. I'm talking about No Man's Sky, and I found this one at a pawn shop. I actually could have bought this game a couple times at GameStop, but I never did do it. And it's went up there. It's went up in the 20s, back into $20 as I saw, but I never did pick this one up. And when this game first came out, man, people was giving this game hell. But the studio supported it. They put, they put updates to it, and I've heard some good things about No Man's Sky. But when it first came out, man, it didn't have the stuff that they said it was going to have. And then the team behind it just went to work over time and just started adding it. It should be a unique piece. Now, this one I found in GameStop. Now, I was looking there, and I was going to spend my card in February. I was like, man, I gotta get something, man. I gotta get something. So I'm looking around. I'm like, man, what do I gotta get? With my card. I gotta spend my card on this shit. So I'm looking around, and I could have got a pop, but I'm like looking for a game. And this one, I found an inexpensive one, an RPG. An inexpensive RPG. It was called One Piece World Seeker. And I think they got a new One Piece game out. I was like, you know what? I like RPGs. I've never really followed the One Piece series. So this looks unique. This looks pretty interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. So one of the things that I've been looking online, and back in the fall, winter, I actually found one of the PlayStation Vita games I needed on GameStop.com. Well, GameStop don't have the other Vita games. They got that's one of the weirdest things about GameStop.com. You can tell they're running the site on the cheap at times, because they'll show games on there they don't have. and they'll just be like, you go click it, and you're like, oh, sold out. Oh, not in stock. I'm like, why don't you just sit there and just not even list them? It's just so aggravating because I'll be scrolling through there and like, oh man, I need that PlayStation Vita game. Oh, God. And I was like, so Amazon. I'm going through Amazon, and like I said, if you saw the video in December, I got an Amazon Prime membership. I'm like scrolling through, and I was like, here it is, January, February. I said, I'm gonna look through to see what Prime's got, and I'm going through the Vita games, and they're pricey. And then all of a sudden, I find one brand new that was given away, at one of the sellers, and I was like, brand new. It was a Lego Vita game. It was Ninjago Nindroids. And I actually had the other Lego Ninjago game for the Vita. But I needed Nindroids. And I was like, okay, that's perfect. That's great. So I went ahead and ordered it. It's a cheap game. Brand new. Never been played. And it was... I was looking to see if he had any other ones like that. So if they got Vita games priced like they got Ninjago, I'll get a couple other Vita games, because the Vita system is one that's really hard to collect for. There's a lot of good games with it, but man, they're getting hard to get, because like I said, PlayStation or Sony gave up on the Vita too soon. The Vita's a great system. There's a bunch of great games for it, man. Persona 4 Golden, Uncharted Golden Abyss, the Trails of Cold Steel's on it. There's a bunch of games, and some of the Lego games is on it. So now we're getting to the final game, the final one, the big finish. Okay, so I'm into the Trails games now. I've got almost all the Trails games. I've been collecting them very well, and I think there's like 2 games I need to get. There's a side game I need to get. It's come out, and I need to get Trails Through Daybreak, but it comes out later in the year. So that's the other 2. But anyhow, I got Trails into Zero, and I've been playing this over the winter, and the Trails games are really time consuming. So, and it's all part of one big storyline. So you're sitting there playing it, and I was like, I need to get Trails to Azure. So I go online, and I realized quickly that Trails to Azure is a hard game to get for a North American release. And you want the North American releases because you could follow your stats over. You could take your stats and go into the next game and just up, and it's good. Well, here's where the problem is. Damn, Peanut. Here's where the problem is. Well, I can't find a North American release, and they do have them, but I couldn't find them. GameStop didn't have it. Amazon didn't have it. Amazon had pricey foreign. So I'm gonna go on eBay. Hell with it, I'm gonna go on eBay and look. I even called Daryl. I hollered at Daryl, and y'all have seen him in videos at GameStop. I said, Daryl, do you have that game? And he's like, no. And he said I should have got it when it came out. So I knew it was hard. So I went. I tried, like I said, I tried GameStop, Amazon. So I went on eBay, and I'm going through, and all these eBay guys want 80, 90, 100, 120, 150 for a North American release. But I finally found one. I nailed one that didn't want that. It was actually from Canada, and I was like, I'm hoping it's in good shape. It's great shape and everything. So they showed the picture, and I made a bid on it, and I bought it. He sent it to me days before it was supposed to come in, and I tested it out. The game is working. It uploaded. Everything's great. The disc came complete, and I'm like, oh my God. So here it was. Here was Trails to Azure. Yeah, this was it. This was the game. And this game, like I said, is a hard one to freaking get in North America. I was in there looking for this and I'm like, oh God. And I thought for a second, so I'm going to probably have to buy it off the Sony store. And I buy it like physical. I don't want to. And I'm like, finally found Trail to Azure. This was probably the biggest, yeah, moment. Yeah, like that. Like you just sit there and you just do it like that, touchdown. But yeah, this is probably made my haul for this. But that's that's what I've gotten since Christmas. Christmas haul. That's all 8 games and some video game guides or manuals as I call them. So I hope you enjoy these. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like and support the channel. Drop me a comment. I'll reply back and we can talk about some games if you want to. So thanks for watching. Until next time, play some Trails to a Zero. Oh yeah.